Hello, I'm Mike. VO3 is blowing up the internet right now. Vlogging stormtroopers, vlogging yetis.
Gotta clean them fast. Bears love a free lunch.
And a bunch of Instagram accounts going viral as a result. In this video, I'll show you how to make videos like this. Charge! But first, everyone smile for the drone shot. This.
Behold, fire without flame.
And this. Okay, Google, how do I build a pyramid? With a consistent character that always has the same voice. In fact, it can have your voice. Now, you'll see here that I've been using Google Flow a lot to generate VO3 videos, and there is still very much a moat here, as I typed in a street interview scene with a reporter asking people about AI taking over. The moat is the creativity, because when you prompt generically, you get results like this.
Well, I figure if AI takes over, at least my Roomba will finally learn to avoid the dog poop.
Pretty weak, if you ask me. And then, well, for some reason, VO3 seems to love Roombas.
Well, if AI takes over, at least my Roomba will finally have someone to complain to about all the dog hair.
It's not really funny, and some of these are quite empty.
Well, if AI takes over, at least I won't have to remember my passwords anymore.
Now, we know that VO3 can be creative. Just take a look at some of these examples I generated.
Unexpected item in bagging area.
Well, is it? Or is it something wonderful like a banana, and where would it even go anyway?
So now let me show you how I solved and automated the use of VO3 publishing to my Instagram account. Over here, you'll see I have a consistent character.
Behold, fire without flame. The gods have blessed this magic stick.
Pretty perfect, that one. And then we'll look at this one. Same character.
Look at this. The sacred rectangle that holds all knowledge.
Hat tip to Scott Meyer with the book Off to be the Wizard, an excellent book that inspired me to make some of these. So really the most important thing is how you structure a prompt for VO3. Let me show you how I've structured mine. Here is a template. You can swipe and use this yourself. You're writing a 6 to 8 second Pixar style comedy short. Pixar keeps it the cartoon style we've just seen. Ancient or historical setting. Now the main character part is the most important thing. Be as detailed as you can here. I've said whimsical man, early 40s, huge hazel green eyes, gentle smile, short tousled light brown hair with blonde streaks, neat full beard, always center frame. I have found that this has worked tremendously well for getting the same character again and again in my VO3 generations. Every prompt should be like this, and I've basically created the Pixar animation style with a scene tag, of course the character prompt, and he's always center frame, dialogue exactly what they say, under or equal to 7 seconds, with good plain language, Gen Z friendly, reaction beat with a crowd reacting, and the comedy should be one killer hook with a punchline, then out, no tech jargon, no extra exposition, just simply give me the prompt, no commentary. Okay, this is great. We've got our prompt dialed in, so how can we automate this? The good news is Google VO3 now has an API that you can use, and it's super simple. So we're going to test this out. Now, bear in mind, it's not that cheap. It's $6 a video at the moment, but that's only going to get cheaper and better in the future. I'm going to test out my prompt that I've designed in ChatGPT 03 to see what kind of idea it comes up with, and then we'll paste it into VO3 and run the test to see how it works. I'm also going to set up a Zap to run every single day, and it's going to automate the whole process of thinking what to do, asking VO3 to make it, and publishing to Instagram for me. Okay, while I'm building the automation, I'm going to test a prompt in Google VO3 Playground here in Replicate. I've copied this from ChatGPT. That's all I need to feed in. I can click Run, and later on we'll integrate this into the Zap. So you'll see it's starting the video generation. Now VO3 is a bit slow. It can take 3 to 5 minutes, so we'll come back to that soon. Meanwhile, let's continue on here, and we'll use AI by Zapier. This just recently got a whole lot better. Not only can you choose which model you're using from the many GPTs, I actually personally prefer Anthropic. Now you'll see I already have credentials connected, but if you don't, you just click Connect a New Account to connect to your Anthropic account. Now for the master prompt, I'll paste that prompt that I shared with you earlier, and the cool thing is Zapier will actually evaluate your prompt and tell you if it's any good, and it says it's good. But if we want, we can click Improve Prompt, and in one click, we'll get an even better prompt coming back here. And now look at this, an excellent prompt thanks to the improved prompt feature in Zapier. You are a talented animator. Wow, creating Pixar-style stuff. This is great. Technology gag. It's given a nice character description there, even better than I did initially. The structure of the prompt as well, which is great, and the guidelines. I'm absolutely loving this. It's even giving a few shot examples, which is great. So I'm just going to click Generate Preview to see what it would come up with. Okay, and you can see it's come up with Ancient Rome Gladiator Arena. This is good enough to get started with. Let's automate further and get VO3 into my automated Zap that runs every single day. Oh, but before we do that, I can see actually my VO3 generation is ready, and look at this. Here it is.
Charge! But first, everyone smile for the drone shot!
That's awesome. So you can see how good this is. Let's further automate this and get this to happen every day on my Instagram. Zapier is the most connected AI orchestration platform. Is perfect for this. Okay, I'm happy with AI by Zapier. Let's pass it on to the next step, which is going to be a webhook where we will connect to Replicate to use VO3 daily. Okay, for action event, we're going to use custom request, and then we're going to go to configure, and it's going to be a post request. Now, the URL is pretty simple over here in the docs. We just copy and paste this URL here. Data pass-through should be false. We copy this input bit for the data, which will go in here. And then instead of using this default prompt, we'll delete all of this and we'll use a / and we'll bring in the result from AI by Zapier. There it is. That is our prompt, making sure it's contained nicely within the quotes. That's all we need to do there. Unflattened should be yes. Now for basic auth, we leave that blank. And then in headers, we use authorization. Content type, which is application JSON, and we'll leave out this prefer wait tag for the moment. You'll see why later. And then we'll grab an API token from my Replicate account and we'll paste it in under authorization. Okay, with that done, this webhook should be ready to go and start generating, so we can click test step. Now notice that sometimes we get an error because JSON likes to escape itself. We can get around this by simply inserting a step that uses code, paste in this detail here, and then we're going to put in text and connect it to that lovely AI output. Let's continue and test. Okay, as you can see, there's a few slashes put in there next to the quotes. That escapes the JSON. Now we can continue back to our webhook, and this time we'll just swap out. And in this case, we're going to pull out the output of the code, which is here, the escaped prompt. Okay, that's really good. With that done, we should be good to go. We can test the step. Boom, we have got a generation that's been sent to VO3, you can see here, via Replicate. This is all working perfectly. The input is there. Now you'll see it's been created, and we've got some URLs here we can use to track what's going on. So because it takes so long, like 2, 3, 4 minutes to generate with VO3, we'll set something else up to monitor for the creation of this video. Now, the quickest way to know when it's generated is to add a final step and use a Zapier agent for this. Zapier agents are intelligent. They can keep watching until VO3 finishes and then notify my Zap to continue. So for action event, we'll do run agent. Now we need to create an agent over here in the Zapier agents interface, and I'm simply going to tell it, you need to watch the webhook provided and respond once the webhook has successfully executed. Okay, simple as that. Create the agent. Okay, you'll see for this agent, it's very simple. Poll the webhook when status is succeeded, return the output URL. Super simple. And because it's an agent, it will keep watching until VO3 is successful. So I don't like the name of this. I'm going to call it VO3 Watcher. And you'll see the trigger is already trigger via a Zap. Over here, I'll select my agent, VO3 Watcher, as the agent I want. Now, as the agent message, again, we'll just say watch the webhook response until it's succeeded, then give me the output URL, and we'll say, yes, do pause the Zap until the agent replies. This means we don't need to have multiple Zaps. We can just wait for our agent to do its work and then continue. Now, for the output field, we'll call it URL, and we'll say output URL goes here. And with that done, we can continue. And before we go ahead and test the step, I'll go over here and we're going to insert a tool, a webhook tool, again, custom request. Now for the settings here in the agent, the method, we will set a specific value and it's going to be a get. The URL will let the agent decide. Data pass-through will fix as false. Data, we don't need to apply that. And unflatten is the default, of course. We want to keep everything locked in as much as possible. For basic auth, we'll leave that as do not include the field. And then for headers, authorization. And again, so our agent can see things, we'll put in our API key here. We'll leave this all as use default, which is no, and then save what we've got. One extra thing we need to add to our agent input is here's the webhook URL. and that will come in from our custom request, and we want the get URL. With that done, we should be able to test this step. And now our agent is running for us in the background. We can actually see the activity here. And here it is in progress. It's currently looking through at everything. And we can see it's been provided the replicate URL here. And the agent will be pinging that URL until succeeded. And look at this. It's wrapped up. It's given us a URL, which we can copy and then paste into a new browser window.
Okay, guys, let's take this from the top and action!
Okay, so that worked better than I thought as well. So to recap, every day at 4 a.m. we're using AI to generate a prompt for VO3. We're escaping the prompt with some code to make sure it doesn't upset the webhook, which is generating via Google's VO3 API, which is hosted on Replicate here. We then get a Zapier agent to constantly check that webhook for a result, and when it gets that result, we can go to the next step, which is to simply search for Instagram. There it is, Instagram for Business. I'm already connected, which is great. There we go. Now our action event is going to be publish a video. Okay, you'll notice here on the first try that actually video has been depreciated and they've replaced it with Reels. So to get this fully working, we'll switch over to an API request. And now for the API request, we'll make a post request because we're posting a video. We'll paste in the direct API URL with our Instagram account ID. As always, for additional headers, we want to do content type, application JSON, and then we just fill in the body. This is everything we put here, and we simply need to make sure the video URL goes in here from our agent step. Now, with that correctly done, we should simply be able to click test step. Boom, that's done. Now we can see we've got a load of feedback. This is not quite done yet. This has created the container for our video, and now we need to command it to publish. So let's actually rename this, create video container, and then we'll create another step with Instagram, and this will be called publish video. Again, we're selecting API request on our Instagram account, and this again will be a post. URL similar, but with media publish at the end. And then down here in the body, we just need to put this with creation ID. And this is where we'll pull in what we got back from the previous Insta response. And if you see here, we've got a response with a data ID. We insert that there to that piece of code. Don't forget, as the additional headers, you need content type, application JSON, continue, test the step. Holding on here. It's taking its time. And it's done. Look at that. Everything has come back positive. Let's go back here to Create a Magic, refresh, and boom. Yes, finally. We have a VO3 video live on our Instagram account and all using automation. So this can run daily now and publish VO3 videos directly without you needing to touch anything. Okay, that's great and all that. And if you've enjoyed what you see so far, throw a like and subscribe because I do videos like this weekly. But I know you don't want to stop there. You want to enhance things. You've got that consistent character. We want to have a consistent voice, and we also want to maybe edit and upgrade our videos. And I would encourage you to put a bit of humanity into what you're doing and not just automate AI slop onto the internet. I've been called out for that on the comments before. So let's go in and make what we've created even better now using some AI tools. Now that you know how to use Zapier every day, use AI to make an idea, send it off to VO3, use an agent to watch for it, and then publish to Instagram. Do remember all the tools I mentioned are linked up down below. For instance, CapCut, which I'm going to use to enhance my video file. So first of all, I will drag and drop a wonderful animation I generated earlier with VO3, and we'll get it onto the timeline down here.
Look at this. The sacred rectangle that holds all knowledge.
First thing we're going to do is change the ratio here, and we're going to go to a custom ratio. We'll go to 1080 by Instagram friendly 1350. Click OK to that, and you'll see it resizes things, but don't worry, it's as easy as this to just resize the video inside the frame. This is going to be great for the Instagram feed. Now, next up, I'm going to use a little bit of AI to make some captions for this, and we do that by clicking the transcript button here. Boom, there we go. It's transcribed everything said in this VO video, so now I can go on and create some captions to it. Well, this is where we can actually go to text and templates, and we can choose the kind of template we want to use. So there are so many different templates here that we can use. CapCut is really great for generating captions. Let's go for this one and rewind. Okay, this is really good. My captions are there. I've made it Instagram frame friendly. I want to get my own voice in here. So how am I going to do this? Well, again, CapCut has a feature to separate voice from background effects that VO3 generated. We'll just right click on the video video here, separate audio, and we'll click separate vocals. Boom, now you'll see we've got the vocals on a separate track and the sound effects are still up here on the main track. I'm going to mute the background track for the moment, and then I'm going to go to export, and I'm simply going to say that I want not the video, but I want the audio only. MP3 file will be absolutely fine. We'll export this, which I can now visit 11 Labs with and go to the voice changer feature here, and I'll drag and drop that MP3 file into the voice changer. Click generate speech. You'll notice it's my voice selected, and there is my voice.
Look at this. The sacred rectangle that holds all knowledge.
I love that, so we'll download it. With that done, it's back to CapCut. We'll drag in the 11 Labs voice. It's got its own new track now. Mute out that voice. Now I've actually split the sound effects onto a separate track. So we've got sound effects, we've got voice, and we've got video still. And we get this final result.
Look at this. The sacred rectangle that holds all knowledge.
Pretty epic, I think you'll agree, so let's export. This time we're deselecting audio and we're selecting video, and we'll leave everything as recommended here. Looks absolutely fine to me. Give it a meaningful name, so I'll call it Village and export. I'm really happy with what I've got, so I can drag and drop this file now into Instagram. That works absolutely fine for me. If I wanted to automate this further, I could set up a Google Drive folder and a Zap to watch it, and every time I drop a video file in there, it instantly publishes it to Instagram. But I'm going to continue. Next, everything is looking good. We won't post any caption with it. We'll just simply share. And look at that. Here we are with a published reel.
Look at this. The sacred rectangle that holds all knowledge.
Perfect. Absolutely amazing. And it's all done with a little bit of automating thanks to Replicate, VO3, Zapier, and 11 Labs to get a consistent character with a consistent voice telling a consistent story on your Instagram account. Really curious to hear how you'll be using this, and can you improve my method further? Let me know in the comments down below. Also join me in the community where we're constantly discussing methods and ideas just like this one. And YouTube is showing a video on your screen right now. You should watch next. Thanks.